What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I know the market isn't closed yet. As you can see, I'm talking about ZOM. I still have my 7,000 shares of Zomedica at 90 cents. Currently, the price is at 59 cents. It's close to 60 cents. We're seeing a decent amount of volume today, but we can break down what I see in Zomedica because yesterday was a good day. It was an okay day. Today looks like a really good day. It got to a higher level that we really didn't expect. I expected to see it sometime, but not today, right? I'm glad it was today though. But it should have held somewhere in those areas, but we know that it's probably being shorted even more. So anyways, before we get started in this, make sure you guys hit the like button, also hit the subscribe button for more videos like this one, and make sure you check out some of my other channels and check out some of the links in the description. So Zomedica, a lot of people have been waiting on this for a while to make any type of move, right? Zomedica moves quite a bit with a lot of volume because they have a lot of shares outstanding. But when we look at the overall situation of what happened, I initially invested right in at, I think it was like 150, sold, made some money off of Zomedica, getting up to a level of, I think it was like $2 and some odd cents, $2.80. I sold it like $2.70, made a decent amount of money. Reinvested in at like 140 or 150, but then doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down to get my cost basis all the way down to 90 cents. Now, I truly do believe in where this position can go, not based on fundamentals, really just tied to other investments that are out there, other things that will end up pushing, especially AMC and GME. So that's what I want to really, let you guys know that I truly do believe where this will go as a whole. But today was a really, really good day to see it up 20+% at one point, all the way up to 67 cents from an open price of 51 cents is insane. Now, that pullback is also insane. I mean, the pullback is around 7 cents of a pullback, and that may not seem like a lot, but it is quite a bit of a pullback. But you could see this movement here to where it did end up, stair stepping on the way up, created a lot. Now I'm looking at the reason of why this was. There's two reasons. One, there was a lot of buying that was going on, created by the initial push, which was essentially created by covering of some of those shorts that they had. So some return shares that they needed to return. You create some positive movement, and then people start to get into it, i.e. FOMO buying, right? People start to get into it and really look to drive this price up because they feel like it's going to run, right? Something that's moving 20%, they're going to get in on it and they're going to look for that to run. Well, they did. And what did you see? You started seeing it pull back. Well, the pullback is coming from a lot of shorts that go on. And I don't want to sit here and sound like a broken record and talk about, just everything is being heavily shorted. But Zomedica has a history of being shorted 40, 50%. 30, 40, 50% every single day, no matter how much volume there is. Once we get into the volume tomorrow, you'll basically see exactly where Zomedica lands when it comes to, short volume. And I will show you the short volume via Fintel in a little bit. But that's what we were looking at here is once we get into this growth, we had a lot of covering of shorts that were going on. Maybe that was that starting point. And then we started to see some FOMO buying go on, some consolidation, right? Some good consolidation, and then more of a rip. We had that flagpole set up where we have this pole right here. We have the flag with this consolidation and a large rip. Right, you start to see that a lot, and that gets up to 67 cents to where it does resist from that 67, 68 cent mark, right, and then starts to fall down. Now, it's not just a clear fall, right? It's not just a drop down where they're just shorting it aggressively, right? It's something to where, yes, you have some positive movement. It looks like it's pulling back a little bit, maybe have a little bit of a recovery, but then starts to consolidate around this portion to where once it gets towards the end of the day, it starts to fall off a little bit more. So that's exactly what I believe we would see is some sort of a rip and then a pullback. It's not as aggressive as a pullback as I thought it would be, because typically you're going to see Zomedica go up to crazy levels. For example, I think it got to like 103 previously, and then pulled all the way back down to like 80 or something like that. So it made a huge move and then retraced all the way back down to where it started at. I'm going to hold on to this position. I believe where it can get to, I'm probably going to see a resistance probably around that 130, 150 mark. And that's where I'm looking to make a slight move and then probably put it back in lower as we do see that make a move up. So all in all, let's look at the Zomedica short interest, or sorry, short volume. So if we look at this ratio, and this is what I wanted to point out with Zomedica, if we look at this ratio, a lot of them are coming back as 50, 60%, 40, 50, 60%. You could see yesterday they shorted 53%, 52%, 46, 65%, 55, 50, 46. I want to see what today is going to be. So when you check out the live stream tomorrow, ask me about Zomedica. I will bring up what the short volume ratio will be on this, because right now we're sitting on about 117 million shares, almost 120 million shares going through for Zomedica. And I think that it's not only looking at a lot of positive shares that are going through, you're looking at a lot of shorting volume that's going through. So we'll take a deeper look at this. A lot of things are positive. Zomedica is positive. I think AMC just went negative, but a lot of things are positive. This consolidated. It's good to be able to see that. I don't like seeing this crossover of the 200 EMA, basically that last crossover downhill under the 200 EMA, showing that we're in a downward trend, a downward spiral. We could get to a point to where this closes at like up 10% after being up 20 plus, almost 30%. It might have even been 30%, which is absolutely insane. So let me know what you guys are feeling about Zomedica, because I'm playing this as more of a speculative play rather than something that's more fundamentally driven, right? Most of my plays are more speculative rather than that fundamentally driven play that has the financials to support it, right? You have a lot of positions that do have the financials to support it, and you can go with those. But right now I'm playing these plays that I believe will move with other things, or how certain sectors in the markets will move, right? So if AMC ends up moving, a lot of things that moved previously with AMC will end up moving. Fubo TV, right? That will end up moving. Cost will end up moving. Zomedica will end up moving. There's a lot of different positions that will end up making a large move because of these other moves that made moves with them. Do you know what I mean? So AMC made a move, and so many other positions made a move with that position. So that's what I'm going with. It's more of a speculative play, and hopefully you understand where I am coming from. And no way do I play these all the time like this, where it's not fundamentally driven. I will usually like a company that has fundamentals behind it for long term. Short term, I mean, I'm not playing anything fundamentally driven as well, because I care about the stock price moving on that particular day, probably in that particular hour or in that particular half an hour. I don't care what the financials look at that point. I care about what the stock is actually doing, how many people are buying into it, because at that point, it's more or less about me making money rather than the business being profitable. I could care less. If the stock price goes up 100% and the business is not profitable, yeah, you're not making money on the long term, but I'm making money on the short term. So guys, let me know what you think about Zomedica. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, check out some of my other channels if you guys are interested, but I'm going to get out of here and I'll catch you guys in the next video.